I actually was granted the pension 2 weeks ago. So yes, I will be taking the pension.
Well, I'm really glad the country has it, offers it. Some countries don't. You know, I'd be in trouble if it didn't happen.
I know a lot of women in the same situation as me. We just survive. We earn lower super, lower wages. We're just surviving.
These are the faces of a new generation of age pensioners. Baby boomers who are leaving the workforce in increasing numbers and relying on government support.
I don't think all of us do live the life we want to live. We don't have a choice. It is what it is.
Pension costs will peak over the next decade. Treasury predicts our ageing population will require an increase in government spending of $16 billion by 2029. More than half of that increase will be on the aged pension alone.
Off the back of those ageing trends, it'll probably cost, in age pension terms, up to an extra $10 billion a year as a result of ageing.
Super? What's super?
Super's here for everybody right across the nation.
The 3% you're getting now provides a good foundation.
Any more than that.
When compulsory superannuation was introduced back in the early 1990s, one of the aims was to reduce the reliance on the age pension. But an increasing number of retirees don't have enough super to live on.
I think I worked out I've probably got 6 years, and I'm certainly not going to be gone in 6 years, I can tell you that. I don't intend to.
Wendy Walters started work in her late 30s and has minimal super. She's about to go on the age pension and is looking forward to help caring for her grandchildren in Bundaberg.
I always knew that I probably was in a situation where I would never, be able to live terribly well. Having said that, one of the great things about my generation is that we do okay with very little.
And our pensions are not generous. You look at our wages and our pensions, and that rate is, in Australia, not terribly high compared to what's paid elsewhere in the world.
Economist Chris Richardson says governments looking to rein in pension costs over the next decade have limited options, but some tweaks are possible.
There is a case, though, for the age at which you can get the age pension, and for that matter, your superannuation, to go up over time. It is going up. If we're going to live a lot longer, well, chances are we're going to have to work a bit longer to pay for the bits when we're not working.
For photographer Roger Arnault, that would be tough. Having spent part of his working career as a contractor, the 64-year-old doesn't have a lot of super and is finding it hard to find paid employment. He's planning to take up the age pension soon.
I actually believe that it would be a lot better if the government actually lowered the pension age, because there's a lot of people who are over 60 who are never going to work again. They can't get a job. So just put them on the pension and let the job providers look after the people that will find jobs.
The family home is presently exempt from pension means testing, but Chris Richardson argues there's a case for removing that exemption.
The politics are horrendous, but it is still the right thing to do. You have some people who have incredibly valuable homes and yet qualify for the pension.
Age pensioner Julianne James doesn't have an incredibly valuable home and only a small amount of super. She doesn't think it's fair to include her Gold Coast townhouse in the means test.
My home doesn't generate an income, so I don't see it as being an asset. It's an asset only if I leave it to my family in my will, but it's not an asset to me because I pay body corporate, I pay a lot of bills to live here.
Some retirees get a part pension because they receive other income. And this is another area, it's argued, where governments could crack down.
As soon as you have a pension, you qualify for a range of federal government, state government benefits. Private companies give benefits as well. And that's really quite expensive. And getting that balance right between giving help to those who need it most versus those for whom it's more marginal. We're not getting that balance right at the moment.
But in fact, there's now pressure to widen pension eligibility by easing the means test. The federal government is reviewing the so-called deeming rate, used to calculate how much income pensioners are earning from their assets. This deeming rate hasn't changed in more than 4 years, while interest rates have hit a record low.
Yes, should they reduce it? I think they should. Given that we've got a 1% interest rate with the Reserve Bank at the moment, no one's earning big money, on their cash in bank.
The age pension peak we were warned about 30 years ago is upon us. The big debate is how to ensure the pension is targeted at those who really need it.
The age pension in Australia is eminently affordable. But we can and we should do stuff better. It's getting harder to have these sorts of conversations in Australia. That's why it's important to do it sensibly.
Well, if there wasn't the pension, I wouldn't be living. That's the reality, I guess.
Hi, I'm Lee Sales. Thanks for watching this story. If you'd like to watch more of 730's stories, they are on the left of your screen. And tap on the button below to subscribe and get the latest from ABC News.